JonnyPink, I don't know if you saw that, the butterfly that went through the field. My microphone that I brought with me, my wonderful Rode mic that I've had for oh so long, is finally dead. So I don't have any great audio that I was going to use for this. So you're going to hear all the ambient noise of the road and the traffic, probably the airport, as well as the birds. It is what it is, can't do anything about it. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to shoot. I've done so many videos with this little M50, and yeah, this is my favorite camera, even over the R5. I love this little thing, and I'm looking forward to the new ASPC camera that Canon has coming out shortly. But I wanted to see, I put this in full auto right now. I took one photo just now of a ladybug just sitting on the bushes over there. I don't know what to expect. I'm gonna look at the JPEGs, and it's in auto, so let's see what it does. This is something that, you know, all of us, I think, with photos on our channels, you get questions from people. Hey, what's a good camera for someone just getting into photography? Well, the truth is, any of them are good, as long as they have an auto or your phone is good. But once you really know how to use the camera, I think this is the first time it's actually been set on auto. I'm gonna take a couple of photos. We'll look at the JPEGs, we'll look at the RAW, and then I'll take a couple more that are in full manual like I would take everything else. I do have my flash on there because I was shooting macro with the Laowa lens. I love that. All right, let's take a few shots. Let's look at this. This is the first one I shot. It is just a ladybug on a branch. Let's look at this. All of that video we were just looking at is with, again, the kit lens here, and it was in auto. Some of it I shot in manual focus, some of it I shot in autofocus. But when I just put it straight into record, it goes into auto. That's one of the few times that I do use this in auto. Typically it's not in autofocus though. This one was. I rarely use the camera in auto, but this place I chose right here down by this river. But there's so much here. Look at this. This is the Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Reserve. I came down here by the river because it's going to make a nice landscape going in through there. One thing I wanted to mention, I had someone ask me if I shoot in RAW or in JPEG. I actually shoot in both. And when I transfer to the computer, I look at the JPEGs, and if I like the JPEG, I transfer the JPEG and the RAW file to another file, and anything I didn't catch my eye, I just dump it. It's not worth keeping, and I only put the RAW files of the ones that I like into Lightroom. Then when I'm really looking at them, if I don't like those, I dump those too. I don't keep a lot of stuff, but to me, shooting in JPEG and just looking at that JPEG real quick makes it easy to assess what's in focus, what's not in focus, what I want to keep and what I don't. That's the way I shoot. Something might work different from you. For you, a lot of people just put their raw files straight into Lightroom or whatever whatever program you're using. Okay, let's shoot something out this way now. And now we're sitting in a very hot room. The fan is going, so if you hear any background noise, hopefully my mic is actually working right now, which is pretty cool before I get a new one. Here's a few things that I noticed. And the reason I wanted to do this is because so many people buy a brand new camera just to take photos of their family or when they're going out. So any camera like that is going to work. Even your cell phone is going to work for stuff like that. I don't normally shoot that way, but I was impressed for some of the things that this camera offers, or any camera really in auto. I'm sure I could do the same thing with the R5. One of the limitations of shooting in complete auto is when you shoot, you really are limited on, the camera's going to choose what to focus on, whereas if I'm shooting a landscape, I'm going to pick a point that's about midway or someplace where I want it to focus, and my aperture is going to be wide enough. And I did notice that on that picture by the river, it had a lower f-stop than I did, so I got more in focus than the camera did. I like my photo better. I think it's clearer, and you did use manual focus for that, and I was in complete manual. Now again, this is just a kit lens, so kit lenses were never known for being great, but they've gotten much, much better over the years. This little Laowa that I compared it to, that's not a very expensive lens, but it's an amazing lens. And that one lens, even though it's not expensive, cost more than that entire camera setup brand new. Had the flash on, and heck, that flash is almost as much as that camera setup is new as well. I'm going to show you this photo right here. This is my very favorite photo with this setup. I'm really impressed on what it can do. I think I shot this one in a manual focus, and also shooting in manual allows me to get the focus exactly where I want. I'm not relying on the camera. This one also I really like, and I know it's really close to being the same photo, but moving around with the sunlight and trying to find the right angle to get the shot that you want is part of photography. Now, it's all artwork and it's all fun unless someone's paying you to do something specific. One thing I do hate is people that critique photos. You know, and I've said this many times too, the parent that has a child's artwork on the refrigerator, that is the most beautiful artwork in the world, whereas somebody else sees it and it's just a bunch of scribbles on a piece of paper. There are many master's photos that I look at and I go, that's absolute garbage, but other people think it's sensational. It's the same thing with music. I listen to a song and I like one of their songs, but the rest of it I think is all garbage and I could not stand it. But people go gaga over it because they liked the rest of it and they're into the hype. So my recommendation is don't fall into the hype. If you have some great photos and you just are enjoying being out there, man, enjoy every single second of it. I didn't try it for birds in flight because I don't think it would do what I want it to do. I don't think the R5, even in full auto, would do what I want it to do with birds. I don't even think the Sony A1 would, and that's the one that people are really... Anyway, I'll leave that alone. I think an entry-level camera is a phenomenal place to start. Learn how to take the photos, but don't be afraid of getting into manual. Learn how ISO works with your aperture, works with your shutter speed. Slow shutter speed gives you blurry photos. A fast shutter speed gives you nice stopped motion, but it really, you lose a lot of light, so you have to increase the ISO, which is like gain or volume turning up your stereo. Well, that adds noise if you get too high, not like it used to. My D800 past ISO of 400, maybe 800, it was just really grainy. Once you get to that level, then you learn how to edit your photos I really like Lightroom the way it is right now, because you can just isolate a lot of the background, the masks that they have in there, make it super easy, and you just get rid of all that noise, and it's beautiful and creamy. Yeah, I did a lot of editing on some of these photos, but you know, that's what photography is all about, presenting something that you want to show. I shot a lot of photos that day, and there's a lot of garbage in there too, and it's like that with everybody. Not everything is perfect. It is what it is, but the bottom line is you have to have fun. JonnyPink, man, I want to say thank you for watching and letting me share this with you. A little bit of rambling. It's just something I wanted to try this camera. The more I have used this entry-level camera, the more impressed I've become with it. Yes, I'm going to get the Canon, the new ASPC sensor camera that they're coming out, the R mount, very soon. So JonnyPink, man, I want to say thanks again. You guys have a fantastic day out there. I'll see you later. I'm going to leave you with another photo, though, with the same camera and the Laowa lens. We'll see you guys.